I want to talk about Nintendo and stuff I've been hearing about people going nuts for the Switch 2 and stuff like that. When I haven't seen anything. Like, the difference between the Switch and the Switch 2 that I've seen is the exact same thing as what they did with the 3DS to the supposed new 3DS jazz. In reality, again, it's a yawn. Like all this, I hear all this hype. Everybody's buying out the Switch 2, getting the console, getting this, getting that. The game launch are nothing new. Mario Kart World. Woo! Okay. Uh, Breath of the Wild. Wait, Breath of the Wild? What? Didn't we get that game for the Wii U and Switch? Like it was specifically made for the Wii U, but then it was a slight upgrade for the Switch. So why is it even a launch tile for the Switch 2? And then there's some other little dorky games. Like, yeah. But no joke, is it really that hyped to actually get it? Okay, slightly bigger screen, slightly bigger thumbsticks, same layout, same crap, same stupid dock, which everybody literally raved about on the Switch version because it had a super huge, big issue with when you put it in the dock, it started scraping the plastic screen. Did they fix that? Doubtful. The other big thing that was a huge problem with the Switch version was the Joy-Cons themselves. And I thought they would actually improve this. But when I looked at the information, the specs, I look at the freaking information and they didn't do anything to the Joy-Cons at all. Zip. The Joy-Cons are the exact same technology, exact same stuff, exact same things. They did literally nothing. They still use the same Joy-Con systems as the Switch version. Yes, it's still Bluetooth ER, extended range, which had a huge, massive failure problem for range and performance. So, why the fuck did they actually just keep with this? It's underperformed. It's not great. It sucks. You release a version of supposedly a brand new spanking console that is literally just a slight, tiny bit in performance better. Like, what the actual freak are you guys thinking? And I like Nintendo. I had the NES, and I had the Nintendo 64, which was the bomb of consoles back in the day. Like, seriously, there was a huge amount of Nintendo 64 lineup games that you would literally remember right off the top of your head. You can think of a million of those like crazy. Then there was the GameCube, which was okay. The Wii system was pretty okay too, with the new improvement of actual motion controls and whatnot. The Wii U was, the first semi HD console ability, And it was a new concept and a new console with more powerhouse and better performance. And it actually did have a decent lineup. Like, I still have my Wii U and I love the game library it had on launch. A lot of new games, though, it just didn't really do that great. The Switch, on the other hand, I literally have not bought in the Switch because every freaking game they release, every freaking game they've done, has not had any real, like, yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, that's worthy to buy the console. Yeah, that's a pretty decent ability. No, nothing. There's no hype. There's no pump to it. But yet, somehow, a lot of people literally buy out the console within the first launch. It's like, the console has nothing. Like, when I was watching the trailer of the Switch, I was like, yeah, motion controls that you literally took away. You don't have the pointer system anymore, and blah blah blah. Oh, you have the pointing system, but it's on the back of one of the controls, and theoretically, it has, somehow pointing ability, which I don't know where, because you don't have it actually on the console itself, where the sensor bar actually worked. So I don't know how the sensor system works for that. So that's out the door. Uh, oh, the concept of HD Rumble. I was like, oh look, HD Rumble, that's cool. I don't know a lot of people that actually use Rumble in general for most games. For sure, I don't use Rumble. I've never used Rumble from the 64 days to GameCube, which I don't even think GameCube had Rumble in general, unless it was an add-on to most of the controllers. Um, the Wii, I've never had Rumble on that system enabled. The Wii U gamepad, never had Rumble on that thing either. HD Rumble, okay, whoopee. I mean, HD Rumble haptic feedback is on most of these devices already, so it's like, who cares? But HD Rumble is like, I don't know, what, how many games play that ability? Like, that small? It's a fraction. HD Rumble is like not really the most like craziest to like jump up and down. Like seriously. The screen, okay, typical ability. Game library, I was like, what's going on? Come on, give me something good. Talk about something great for the system that's going to be mind-blowingly great. Like, the Wii U came out with dual screens, had good touchscreen ability, had great HD graphics and all this, and had a great library system, and it blew away minds. But this was just like what? I don't know how people literally jumped up and down, started pre-ordering, buying out the console when it sucked. Like, I've waited so long for the supposed new Switch 2 to come out, and they did the exact same fail thing. And yet, some people are actually still buying it. Like 3 million pre-order buyouts within the 21st 24 hours. It's like, I don't know if people are just completely stupid in the head and buying the console just because they're just buying the console for no flipping reason. I thought people would actually be turned down from not only it really not being much of an improvement, but the fact that Nintendo is literally basically locking down the system, that if people change any kind of little detail of the console, it gets locked down. Like, I think that's actually kind of cool because that puts a little hurt to people that are trying to modify their console with homebrew crap and jazz like that. I've never done that with any of my consoles, and they work still great, nice. But yeah, like how the flip are people literally still buying this, even though they didn't really want it, and there's no hype to it, but yet somehow there is. So I'm literally itching my head. Somebody needs to tell me what the flick is going on with this entire crap, because there's nothing great for this. I think the only game that I've literally seen that finally came around that is worthy to maybe even closely buy a Switch or even a Switch 2 for that fact, which is very tiny and it's only one game and it's still not even released, is Metroid Prime 4. Like, that's probably the only game that I would likely ever have for the Switch in general, because I haven't seen any great games that are literally mind-blowing, eye-poppingly great. That's not only going to put the system into what it's supposed to be, but utilize a lot of its systems. For instance, when the Wii U came out, a lot of games were actually trying to utilize the system ability and actually bring more powerhouse and really try and push the limitations to the console and not give some crappy, stupid little cartoonish graphics and jazz like that. For instance, Breath of the Wild. I know everybody likes it and jazz like that, but it sucks in the graphics performance by far. If you want to see real graphics, go look at Twilight Princess. That was the last game that actually had the greatest graphics ability out there in any Zelda game. Then it came into, oh, we'll use the shading graphics performance that we had from Wind Waker and supposedly make it modern day like. It's like, that game was supposed to be looking like a kiddie game. It wasn't supposed to be looking like a real cool Zelda game. So why are you putting a more decent, powerful Zelda game with the kiddie-ish graphics? That's why Ocarina of Time is still the greatest game ever, because the graphics were what really made it bomb, mind-poppingly bomb, and how imaginable of size they were able to take the game compared to what we have now. Like, that's just stupid. And then Zombie U, for instance, still a great freaking game for the Wii U. Like, seriously. Ubisoft, yeah, Ubisoft or something like that needs to recreate something great like that again, but in like 50 times more better. Because that game itself for the Wii U was explosion of greatness, showing the HD graphics performance, showing how it can utilize the gamepad system and all that great stuff. It really pushed the limit to the console ability. But these games, I mean, all these games just, the push the limit is just really stupid. And the optimization, if they think they are really great and they're pushing the limit, their optimization is not very great. Because I've seen a lot more better games play on weaker consoles than any console game from the Switch or the Switch 2 that are far more superior graphics-wise, performance, and ability than any of the other standard Switch consoles, period. And they used a lot lesser in technology of CPU and GPU performance because they had to really optimize the system and really push it to its limit. And they did a crazily awesome job. But now you got all these stupid little cartoonish little tiny games that are just like, and it's like, um, what? Like, you can't optimize these tiny little crap games, but yet look back at the Nintendo 64 and they are the most amazing game of any console days. And they pushed so much performance off of them with a quarter of ability on console performance. That's amazing. And another game that I really would love to see for modern times that would be a freaking amazing game would be DK64 come back in some really great fashion game that didn't look like it's stupid modern time DK junk. Like, seriously, from the movies, they made DK look like some freaking Hancho Muncho wannabe awesome cool guy from, like, the school jockeys where they're all like, yeah, we're cool, we're all freaking fantastic because we're so strong and cool and we're all football players and blah blah blah. Like, when I saw the first movie of that, I was just like, they made DK like such an idiot. Like, seriously, he is such stupid, just lame. And then they made Mario just pathetic. And somehow Princess is just like, oh yeah, I know everything. I'm just so cool on that. I can just. It's like, okay, so she's stupid, but she's also great. But she gets captured by Bowser, and she doesn't do anything. Like, the concept of that movie was just so stupid and retarded. I couldn't even believe my words. I was like, I can barely even finish the movie. But I forced myself to finish this movie. I was like, oh my gosh, this movie is completely stupid. I would rather go back and watch the 1990s Super Mario Brothers with the live action uh, dudes, because even though that was not even like the most in topic ability whatsoever, it was hilarious and it was way more better to watch than this bull crap with Mario and Donkey Kong. They are just completely way out of whack character. Like, seriously, if you go back to play Donkey Kong 64, oh my gosh, you're gonna find his character a lot more accurate, a lot less stupid, and he's not some kind of highball like wannabe cool guy and jazz like that. He's actually more like, oh yeah, I'm kind of a protector, and or like he's not like wanting to be a protector, but he's trying to understand that he helps his family and whatnot. And the game concept on that is so freaking awesome because it really has like, so much goodness that the creators back in the 64 games were really amazing. But nowadays, you look at games, they're just like. So, yeah, somebody really needs to tell me what the flip this is about because I don't see anything special with any of the Switch consoles, period. I don't know how people are blowing their minds up. And if people are saying, well, those consoles really didn't sell that great, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know why people didn't buy them? Because maybe people didn't go off their rockers and be just completely stupid and buy a console for no flipping reason. They bought them based on what they wanted to buy. So maybe the Wii U didn't sell as much as the Switch because maybe people actually bought them, based on that. Or maybe the Wii console bought and the same thing. You know, at the time there was PlayStation and the Wii system in combination, and people bought PlayStation most of the time. But people weren't literally like, dropping their pants down and pooping out money so they can just buy a console that they weren't even gonna really utilize. Like, seriously, the Switch 2, what are you guys gonna really utilize with that? There's nothing to it. It's nothing special. Like I said, it's just a more slight upgrade version of the 3DS in a sense. Like when they came out the 3DS, I was like, okay, yeah, it's a pretty decent system, just like that. A couple of years later, like I don't know, after the console was kind of fading, right? They decided to make the new 3DS that was a slight upgrade, and that sparked more of amazing ability. But it was just like, what's so special about this new 3DS? Oh, it's got a C stick that failed after a year. Yeah, I actually have the new 3DS, and I bought one, the Animal Crossing one, and tested the C stick, and after less than a year, it started failing. So I went back to my normal 3DS. I actually had to call the company and, you know, get them to actually revert all my download systems back to the old console, because after you upgrade from one system to the other, you can't revert back to the other system. So I was pretty fricked up and pissed. I was like, there's nothing really great with the new 3DS. Oh, you get, two extra buttons on the back. I can use the Circle Pad Pro. Oh, it's got slight process upgrade. Whoa, that's a massive upgrade. Not. Oh, you get NES games. Okay, so. Oh, you get face tracking, infrared 3D tracking ability, which sucks balls. You get IR camera ability for your front and output cameras now, so it can see infrared. It's like not really many people are going to bother with that, because in that time, most of the cameras were actually being utilized by these bad boys. Oh, it's got buttons on the back, and it's a little bit bigger, and it's more compact and just like that. It's like, so what? The resolution of the game system didn't change. Like the screen resolution was all the same. Oh, slightly bigger screen. Who cares? I remember back in the day when the Micro Game Boy Advance came out, and people were complaining about how it was only like a 2-inch screen. I was like, you know how close you're having the screen? Like, you're playing with the screen about this close to your face. You're not going like this. Like it's some kind of wide screen ability and jazz like that you can literally see from like 20 feet away. No. It's like obviously you can't have it right in front of your face. That's the point of the console. A portable console. Duh. So again, that's the same thing with the Switch and the Switch 2. There's nothing improved. There's nothing better. There's nothing great. There's nothing good. And it's kind of sad because it's been over 7 years and they done the exact same failed system ability that they did in the first ability. Man, if the CEO, president, whatever you want to call it, of Nintendo didn't die after uh, like 2 years before supposedly a new console was going to be released, man, he would have made a buttload better console that wasn't so crappy. And that was that was the person that was making the Wii system, which was a huge success with the motion system, because a lot of other companies started trying to steal the motion system with the motion controls. PlayStation with Move, fail, which they never even took off really much, and the Xbox, which was with the Kinect system, which was a huge, massive fail. So the Nintendo Wii was the most successful system that had motion control system out there, period. Then the Wii U console came out with dual screens, motion control still, and point accuracy ability. That was the most bombing technology out there. And this was before all the stupid, virtual reality and crap that actually was specifically that people were targeting to steal from Nintendo. Yes, reality was actually stolen from Nintendo because everybody wanted to make their own concept of motion controls and bull crap like that. So, heck, Nintendo could have made a decent virtual reality system of their own, but, somebody came up with the Switch for a portable console that failed miserably for the last 7 years. And yeah, if the last president didn't die, he probably would have came out with something more bombing than the Switch crap, and would have made something a lot more better that would have impressed a lot of people, especially with the older fans that really want something actually really good, not just some, oh, we're gonna put a Wii U into a portable size DS faction system and supposedly take it with us around, but still have thermal issues and crap like that. And we're gonna have little key games that aren't really as optimized as companies should be. Because, like, seriously, the Wii U had 2 gigabytes of RAM technology. I think the Switch has like 4, and what is the Switch 2 have like 8 now? Like, where's the optimization? Like, Nintendo 64 had like the most smallest memory load ever, and we had the most fantastic games that were super optimized, super large, and super great. But yet we can't even competition that to our modern day consoles. They have way more processing power, ability, and all this stuff. And these systems run so hot from games that are just stupid. It's junk. So now the wait is another 7 years for supposedly a new good console to come out. Tell me what you guys think with this crap, because I just can't wrap my head around this. Peace out.